Hello and welcome to the Pup Mommy. I've owned dogs for close to 35 years, and with my channel I am sharing my practical hands-on experience, including my mistakes, of what I've learned in owning, loving, and caring for dogs for those close to 35 years. Now, in my last video, I discussed the drug Prednisone. And the reason for that was because my Boston Terrier, Thumper, was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease about a month ago. And he has been on the drug Prednisone. And I've also had experience with the drug with 3 other dogs. I closed the video and toward the end by saying that I was going to be weaning Thumper off Prednisone because I had such a dislike for the drug and also because the drug was not working. I decided to do this update on Prednisone because as of this update, Thumper is still on the drug. He's on 10 milligrams of Prednisone once a day. The reason for that is I decided to seek a second opinion. I had recently changed veterinary clinics, and the veterinary clinic that I'm with now has a doctor who has over 30 years of experience in veterinary practice and a special interest in endocrinology. Now, endocrinology is not exactly it's IBD, but let's call it a cousin to the IBD world, or whatever you want to call it. She had an interesting perspective that I'm going to share with you. She reviewed Thumper's case history because I had the records sent over from VCA Hospital. She looked them over, she examined Thumper, and she herself has prescribed Prednisone several times, many times I should say, over the course of her 30-year practice. Her perspective on the drug is that for some dogs it can be beneficial, and she has prescribed Prednisone longer than the usual 3 to 4 months that you'll find that the drug should be in use when you do your Googling and your research. Her philosophy is that it's all about the dog and the dog's quality of life, and that if the dog has a better quality of life while it's on the drug, but at the same time the number of years that it has to live are shortened, you have to balance that quality of life versus the number of years that the dog has to live. The reason for this being that when you put a dog on Prednisone for any length of time, a couple of things can happen. Your dog can develop Cushing's disease and also liver dysfunction, which leads to a number of other issues. Now, her mantra and my mantra is basically the same. It's all about the dog. But at the same time, while she was discussing her opinion with me, I was listening very carefully and I was thinking, quality of life. Well, you know, your dog, maybe if your dog is on Prednisone, you've had a dog on Prednisone, your experience may be different than mine. But mine has always been that the quality of life that I've seen while my dog is on Prednisone has not been that great. So with that said, what are my alternatives? Well, a couple of things that I had thought about was getting a referral to 2 veterinary colleges of medicine that are near me. One up north, University of Wisconsin, Madison, and the other one is south, University of Illinois, Champaign. The other alternative that I looked into, and the one that I've chosen to go with, is to try a new drug. And the drug is called Intestogard. I will leave a link to the company in the description section. Now, how did I find this drug? Well, I looked through the AVMA database, AVMA, AVMA, which is American Veterinary Medical Association. They have a database of clinical trials that are being conducted throughout the United States by veterinary colleges of medicine. So I typed in IBD, and I came up with a clinical trial that was done on Intestogard at University of Iowa. So I contacted the University of Iowa because I wanted to see what were the results of the trial. Well, evidently everybody's gone for the summer because I never got it contacted back. So I picked up the phone and I called Intestogard. I asked them, do you have the results of the trial? Secondly, can this drug be used with Prednisone? Third, how can I get my hands on it? What happened next was I got a call back from the veterinarian who was involved in the development of the drug and involved in the clinical trial. He sent me the results of the clinical trial, including some of the highlights of the trial itself, and started discussing with me on the phone in depth that he would like to be involved in Thumper's case, and would I be willing to go ahead and use the drug. Now, I decided to do this for a number of reasons. And these reasons are this. Number one, because I do have the full results of the clinical trial. It is not an experimental drug. It holds a U.S. patent. The clinical trial was done with the collaboration of 3 colleges of veterinary medicine: Ohio State, University of Iowa, and Texas A&M. So another reason is the drug is manufactured in the United States. And the 5th reason is that when I looked at the histopathology report that came back on Thumper's IBD, the pathologist herself had quoted a study that was done by a doctor, I can't remember her last name, but the doctor happened to be involved in the clinical trial at the University of Iowa. So loaded with all of those good points, as I will call them, I decided to take a chance, and because it can work, it cannot work. And I ordered some IntestoGuard, which should be here probably sometime next week. The protocol is going to remain the same as with my internist. The only thing I'm doing is I'm substituting the Proviable probiotic with IntestoGuard. Now, according to the vet who only has the information that I sent him and gave him on Thumper's condition, he's hoping to see a positive result in about 7 days, meaning that Thumper's diarrhea is going to subside, if not totally stop. And one of the ideas behind IntestoGuard is that they'd like it to be a drug that doctors will go to prior to, automatically diagnosing prednisone. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. Another thing I will say is I am not being paid. This is not, I'm not endorsing this endorsing this product because I haven't tried it yet. And also because I'm not in a position to endorse it. Nobody's paying me or anything. I'm just giving you what I'm following in terms of my decisions to get Thumper back on course and to basically stop his exploding diarrhea, stop the inflammatory bowel disease, and hopefully at some point, wean him off the prednisone. Because he's on a batch of drugs right now that I think the total number is, 6 or something, plus additional supplements of fish oil and then the probiotic and psyllium. So anyway, I wanted to pass on that information to you in case you have a dog that has similar problems with inflammatory bowel disease or some type of gastroenteritis. Again, I'm leaving the link to the company in the description. Always, always, always consult your vet. Always, do your own research. Advocate for your dog. Because this drug is new to the market, you will probably find that a lot of veterinarians are not necessarily aware of it. That's what I found. However, I've been told they're starting to advertise now in veterinary magazines and probably are going to be launching a marketing program at some point in the near future. So again, I will maybe even give you another update in another couple of weeks or month as to how this drug is working for Thumper, if it is going to indeed work, or if there is some underlying genetic problem that the vets, the internist, and the other vet from IntestoGuard warned me about, which wouldn't surprise me because I seem to have a lot of dogs with underlying genetic conditions. But with that, I will thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. If you wish to contact me directly, I'll leave my contact information in the description section as well. So again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click and subscribe. And that's all for now, and bye for now.